Hi guys, today we're going to react to ZEN by NEMOPHILA. This is a BuyMeACoffee request from JM. Thank you, JM, for yet another request. We appreciate all your support.
Thank you, JM. We appreciate the ongoing support.
Another NEMOPHILA live performance. This is how we were introduced to NEMOPHILA when we reacted to Revive and Ascension. They were music videos. That is what we got from Mayu for the first time. Her awesome scream and the ferocity of their performance. It's a very high energy song. We've seen a plethora of styles from NEMOPHILA, but it's like muscle memory for me. This is the NEMOPHILA I will always remember, that level of intensity.
Yeah, I think this is kind of our sweet spot with NEMOPHILA. I think this is our favorite style of theirs, you know, when they go faster, louder, Mayu gets her scream on, and it looks to me like the girls are also more in their element. I look at Tamu and it's like she always seems like she is more in tune with what she's doing when she's in this kind of style. Like she's enjoying it more. I don't know, I can't explain it. But the girls like to rock out, and we like it when they do. So yeah, this is fantastic. Another awesome performance. Having Mayu sing in her screaming voice only, we only get rough vocals here, is really cool. And I think that for the most part, if not all of it, might be in English. It's a bit more difficult to understand, but I did get a few words here and there.
Could make it out, yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like the demon Mayu.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
In case it wasn't clear before, this is my preferred style of NEMOPHILA. I know they have a variety of styles, but I'm just in love with the band when they're like this.
I mean, we like their other stuff as well, but this is definitely the preferred style for me as well. And especially live, just amazing.
This is the lyrics with the most amount of questions that they ask. Earlier, I talked about their ferocity, and correlating the specific style of the song and the subject matter, I'm getting a feeling of not just ferocity, but of frustration, because they ask a lot of sort of existential questions in the song. What is future? What is past? Everything correlates to the big question they are asking because they don't know. That's where I got the frustration. What's your origin point? Who are we? How can you know what everything means if you don't know who you are? It's like the brick wall that they collide in, trying to answer this seemingly simple question, and they can't. So they ask questions about things that you might think you can simply answer, but none of us can. When you think about, for instance, what is family? The people that I love, people in my circle, but you don't know it unless you have something else to compare it to. I think that's the core of it, to me at least.
Specifically, when they ask what is family, the next question is what is obvious? It's almost like they expect the answer to be, what do you mean what is family? That it's obvious. Like, what is obvious? It asks even what, almost like, not just what the concept would be, but what would this word mean? You know, what is believe is one of the questions that they ask. So it's really asking about existence altogether. It's like, what is this thing? What are we? Who are we? And that final question that comes at the end, what is all this for? So it's like a struggle for identity and a struggle for reason. It's like, what is happening here? And then you kind of go to the title of the song, which is Zen, and you kind of get it, that in order to find inner peace, you almost have to ignore all these questions.
Yeah.
To give up the search for answers. You said earlier that this is the song with the most questions that we've had from them, and it's not just that. This song is comprised of questions, only questions. And I don't know if I've seen that before from NEMOPHILA or anyone else, but it goes into what is love, which is an obvious one. And do you think the destiny is set? Have you stopped your mind? So it's like saying you think that everything is predetermined. You think that you have no control over anything. So have you stopped thinking? Have you stopped looking? Another line there was, do you have your own mind and will your choice change? It's interesting. It's like saying there is some control over who we are and what we do, and there is some choice, and it's asking the listener, will you take any charge of that? Will you take any advantage or any accountability, or will you do anything about it?
I love that there's a double level of uncertainty in it. There are a lot of questions that deal with what's going on, who are you, who are we, but when you dive deeper, you can't find answers in that what level. But when you dive deeper as to why, even if you do know who you are, do you know why you are? So that even boggles you more. It scrambles your mind even further when you deal with those two questions. I used to say, regardless to experiencing songs like this or even dealing with these questions, I used to say that why is the most important word in the world, because that's what drives people to get answers. But there are no answers, not real answers. There are moments that you decide, okay, this is the moment where I stop looking because I can't continue forever because I'll lose my mind. That's what I think I'm getting from this song, that at some point we will have to reach that moment where we'll need to decide to stop looking.
Yeah, certain verses and certain questions within the lyrics kind of feel like they're just thrown in there, but there is some kind of structure and logic to the way it's said. Like one of the verses says, you know, aren't you thinking that it is irrelevant? What is a body? Do you think aliens exist? Aren't you pretending that you are not seeing it? So it's like a little bit all over the place. And then when you break it down, you realize there's a lot of personal stuff in there that it asks about a person, like about their way of life, about what they want out of life. Are you suffocating? Are you cherishing your feelings? Do you like a lonely night? Do you have a sleepless night? So it's like, if you are alone, do you like your solitude, or do you have a sleepless night wishing for more, kind of thing? You know, do you cherish your feelings? Are you suffocating? It's just like saying, trying to work out where you are and where you want to be, and at the same time trying to work out things that are a lot bigger than that, a lot deeper, which is very interesting and very cool. It's all in the title because Zen kind of encompasses everything. So it encourages, in a way, self-reflection, contemplation, and I think that the band is kind of singing that to their audience, to the listener, but it's also they're asking themselves those questions.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. Yeah.
I love how it says, are you pretending that you're not seeing it? In that line, especially because it comes after Are Aliens Real? real. It kind of makes me think about how none of us are really guided by the truth, because we're all programmed with our own set of values and beliefs, and we spend a lot of years being fixed in that point where we think that we have a way of looking and explaining the world to ourselves. We can't possibly be guided by truth, because the truth only has one gear. It only shows you what is. So if it collides with your beliefs and values, you won't accept it. That line, are you pretending to not see it? So if you were presented with evidence that everything you believe in is wrong, you're likely to never accept it.
And the beautiful thing about this is that all these questions, I don't think have definitive answers, or not within our reach anyway. So this whole song is a question, and it asks all that questions, and at the end it says, who is that for? It questions existence and reality and everything else, everything that we don't know, everything that we can't know. Putting all of that into that title again, Zen, potentially it's saying you have to keep asking these questions, but also not to lose yourself when you can't find the answers. So just find your Zen, find your center, and kind of stick with that. But within that, try to ask all these questions, and also have your own mind, as it says in the lyrics. Don't just take information that other people give you, or definitions that other people give you for all these things. Think for yourself, but at the same time, remember that you might not have an answer for everything. One of the questions there was, are you breathing? It's almost like saying, just because you know you are, and you feel you are, and you can take air in and air out, are you really? Are we really here? Or is it saying, are you forgetting to breathe and kind of succumbing to stressful life around you? It could mean either or, but to me it's like, are you breathing? Like, are we even here? Are we even alive? Is the reality that we see even the actual reality? Is this real? Who is all that for? That is the question, really.
Yeah, and as I mentioned, the level of confusion becomes exponential when you try to think about, hold on, why are you breathing? If you are breathing, why oxygen? Why not cyanide gas? That trickles down to deeper and deeper levels of more question marks. You got to stop thinking about it.
Yeah, and you and I, we've had this conversation before, outside the show, about existence and life. And I always say that existence itself does not make sense. So you can't make it make sense. And people try to put a framework around it that either it's science or it's religion. And I always say the two theories, neither one makes sense. God doesn't make sense, and the Big Bang doesn't make sense. Not really. Existence within itself doesn't make sense. So if it doesn't make sense, and we're not going to make it make sense, we just have to go along with it, because otherwise you'll just go crazy and you just lose it. So maybe this is the answer. The answer is just find your Zen and just go with the flow, because you're not going to know, at least not while we're alive. And once we are no longer alive, it might just be nothing, or we might get some answers. Who knows? But we're not going to rush to get there. So let's just enjoy the ride. Another awesome song from NEMOPHILA. Thank you, JM, for another awesome request. And thank you for the ongoing support. We appreciate you. Thanks a lot.
Thanks, JM, for this magnificent song by NEMOPHILA. We enjoyed reacting to it very much. More like this would be much appreciated. Thank you for your ongoing support. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please be sure to like, subscribe, comment, and click the little bell icon so you get notified on all our future videos. If you have a song in mind you'd like us to react to, please make it through BuyMeACoffee so we'll get a chance to get to it. The link is at the top of the description below. Thank you all for sticking with us. Thank you all for your time.
As always, our NEMOPHILA reactions playlist should be up on the screen sometime about now. Click it, check it out, let us know what you think. Thank you guys for all the support coming our way. As I always say, without you there would be no show. So keep coming back. We'll be here in a couple of days with a new episode, and we hope to see you all then. Thanks a lot, guys. See you soon.
Bye, guys.